Alassane Ouattara's attempted fourth term and the failed coup in Mali. The Ouattara clan's mystical odyssey from Tadakoro to Abidjan. In several of my previous publications, I revealed a truth that many prefer to keep silent. The Ouattara clan does not hold power in Côte d'Ivoire merely through political maneuvering, or the cold machinery of state authority. No. Their grip rests primarily on an invisible pillar, the occult influence of a network of sorcerers, summoned from the four corners of the globe, weaving unseen threads in the shadows, binding the nation like a spider's web. Among these shadowy figures, one stood above all the rest. In an earlier video, I announced the death, in 2024, of the young Malian Marabout Tangara Issouf, an enigmatic and feared figure, regarded as the chief sorcerer of the Ouattara clan. He was not just a spiritual advisor, he was the oracle, the invisible strategist. Before every major political decision, before every crucial turn of the regime, Alassane Ouattara would turn to him, seeking his rituals, visions, and prophecies, like a compass in the dead of night. His death left a gaping void in the regime's occult apparatus. Deprived of their spiritual master, the Ouattaras launched a frantic quest to find a successor, a sorcerer of equal power, capable of maintaining that invisible bond that secured their grip on the country. A close family insider whispered a lead, look towards Guinea-Conakry. There, a man could guide them in their search. One name echoed back, Mamadi Doumbouya, the Guinean president, reputed for his occult networks and knowledge of mystical figures in the region. On his direct recommendation, a special delegation led by Yaya Ouattara, nephew of Alassane Ouattara, set out for the village of Tadakoro, in the sub-prefecture of Doko, prefecture of Siguiri, Kankan region. Tadakoro, 45 kilometers from Siguiri, is an ancient land in the heart of Malinki territory, where mystical traditions permeate daily life. There, the line between the visible and the invisible is thinner than anywhere else. At the meeting, the master sorcerers did not give an immediate answer. They demanded several days of ritual consultations to commune with their invisible forces. Weeks later, Mamadi Doumbouya received the verdict, pact accepted. His sorcerers would henceforth pledge allegiance to the Ouattara clan. The news was relayed directly to Tani Brahima Ouattara aka the Vile. To seal the deal, an official visit was arranged. On June 17 to 18, 2025, Mamadi Doumbouya arrived in Abidjan. Officially, it was a state visit. Unofficially, his sorcerers accompanied him, hidden behind diplomatic protocol. In Abidjan, Ibrahim Ouattara laid out their mission, without sugarcoating it, psychologically and spiritually lull the Ivorian population into accepting a blatantly unconstitutional fourth presidential term. Work towards the downfall of the AES regimes, Mali, Burkina Faso, Niger, seen as obstacles to certain strategic interests. Logistics were entrusted to Yaya Ouattara, sacrifices, ritual supplies, fulfilling the sorcerer's every need, nothing could be lacking. If you paid close attention during the RHDP Congress on June 20, one detail escaped most people. When the despot Ouattara declared he needed time to reflect before responding to the call of his supporters to run for a fourth term, this delay was not political, it was mystical. He was waiting for the occult green light, after bloody sacrifices. I have long warned you, before the October elections, blood would be shed. In June, the sorcerers told him, not yet. The quota of human blood demanded by the spirits had not been met. The instructions were strict, no announcement until that quota was filled. The following weeks were grim, orchestrated fatal accidents, ritual killings of albinos in secret locations, all to feed the invisible powers. In early July, the message came, sacrifices validated. But one last condition remained, the public appearance of a giant snake as a sign. This would be the ultimate green light. On July 25, the sign appeared. In the heart of Plateau, near the Republican Guard, an enormous python emerged. Ouattara exulted, the occult obstacles were cleared. On July 29, he caught the entire country off guard, announcing his candidacy, when most expected it on August 6. Meanwhile, the opposition was preparing a march for August 2. The Tadakoro sorcerers intervened, postpone it to August 9, perform rituals, sacrifice bulls, scatter prepared sand at strategic points to provoke a boycott. But on August 9, the opposite happened, a massive march, a show of force. The ritual was swept aside by the street. The sorcerers had also promised Ouattara the fall of Mali before October. Special Grigri charms were secretly sent to Bamako to sow chaos. Two events were meant to prove the sorcerers' might. 1. A boycott of the march. 2. The fall of Bamako. Result, double failure. The coup in Mali was foiled. The instigators were in Abidjan. Same fate for Burkina Faso, planned after October. Enraged, Alassane Ouattara suffered a fit, forcing his personal doctor, Dr. Diaby, to intervene. On medical advice, he left for a treatment stay in France. Chris Yapi does not lie. Find Chris Yapi on his 2 YouTube channels, his Rumble channel, his TikTok, X, Instagram, VK and Threads accounts.